Hello there, everyone. My name is Oversoul. This is Oversoul Gaming, and welcome back to Danganronpa. It is time to start the final trial, but I gotta tell you, this is a long-ass trial. It takes maybe 2.5 hours, so we're not doing the whole thing in one episode. We're gonna stop when we get to the comic book recap part, because then what happens after that is where things get really nuts. So, this episode, we're gonna focus exclusively on, the normal trial shit, the mini games, the evidence, stuff like that. But then in the next
Since this will be the final class trial, I've come up with a special rule.
But then in the next episode, we will be having a face-to-face with the mastermind, and all will be revealed. But we gotta get through this one first, because there's some important shit here.
So listen up! If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the mystery of this school, you guys win! But if you can't, then I win! And of course, waiting for the loser is the super exciting, super heart-pounding punishment!
Are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
And that's final? No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
Of course not! Bears never go back on their words!
Never mind all that. I just have one question for you.
Oh, you're taking this serious, huh? Are you feeling okay?
Is the mastermind only one person?
The one
Don't
controlling
bother.
you.
I already know the answer. You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me! I'm right, aren't I? I knew it!
Oh, damn it. Alright, here we go.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence, so I know I'm right!
Hey, you stole my line. You're all out to get me. I'm sure of it.
Oh, God.
I have evidence of my own.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence to present. Evidence that proves everyone other than me has been working together.
What? Wait, hold on. This doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us each have that kind of evidence?
No, what's wrong?
I like how it was normal until the part where I needed to shoot, then it became complicated.
It's not just you three. I have evidence too.
What? You too?
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Well, yeah. Huh? Wait, but mine's different. With the picture you have, I'm in it. But that can't be right. Because in my picture...
Let me guess, you're not in it?
See? I'm the only one not in it.
Which means you took it. How are they this dumb? How have they survived this long
Hiro,
being this stupid?
you have a picture too, right? Let's see it.
Okay, but be careful with it. It's pretty important evidence.
Oh, that's right. Makoto and Kyoko have been carrying this whole thing. In this one, too, it's just like I thought.
So the secret in these pictures has been revealed.
Could you imagine if it was just Hina and Hiro trying to solve this?
Whatever, I don't care.
We'd all be
You guys
screwed.
are all in on this together. That's why I'm the only one missing.
But you're in my picture. You're the ones trying to trick me.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioning and fighting with each other.
Looks like it worked.
The mastermind laid a trap to make us each think everyone else was working against us.
Huh? I laid a trap? A trap? How rude! What grounds do you have for such audacious accusations?
The proof I need to reveal Monokuma's trap. Each photo has a certain something in common. There's a connection regarding what person isn't shown in the group photos. And that person is the one who got them.
I got it! In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it. So, in the picture I got, I'm the only one missing. In the picture Hina got, she's the only one missing. And in the picture Hiro got, he's the only one missing.
Hey, Byakuya, why don't you show us yours?
As long as we're talking about it, I suppose I should show you my photo as well.
In other words, Monokuma gave each of us a group photo in which that person wasn't included.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everyone else was the enemy?
Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I thought that must be it. But how was that a hint?
It wasn't a hint, he's cheating. But you know, there might be more to this than just Monokuma trying to confuse us. Well, it is a hint too, at the same time. There's something else that bothers me about everyone's pictures. What is it? What's digging at me?
Listen, can I see everyone's group photo one more time? It's not directly connected to what we're talking about, but I'd like to double check something.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm sure there's something unusual about these group photos. What is it? I need to compare each of them one more time. Byakuya's picture. Hina's picture. Hiro's picture. And mine. Yeah, there's one person's face who you can't see in each picture. There's something strange about all of them. Something I can't quite pin down. Something...
Can you just forget about the photo already?
That'll come in handy later.
Ugh. Trying to trick me with such an obviously fake photo? I'm still pissed about that.
It's not fake, though. That's the thing.
And on top of that, they went to all that trouble to make it look like we were wearing matching uniforms.
So you think they're fake? No, I assure you, they're quite real.
What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture like that. So it's gotta be a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we really be so sure?
Huh?
Don't get me wrong, I don't remember taking this picture either, but is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
The reason I don't remember this picture isn't necessarily because it's fake. There might be some other reason. Some terrible reason. An unbelievable but entirely horrifying reason. And we know what it is. I mean, you have to be able to solve this stuff, so they want you to at least half know what's going on with the clues they gave you. Amnesia!
Now I understand.
The bunker.
Let's say that somehow we'd all lost our memories. That could explain it, couldn't it?
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. Makes sense. As if. You expect me to believe such an unbelievable occult-type story?
Yeah, we all lost our memories? That's just crazy.
It's only natural that they wouldn't believe it. But no matter how much they refuse, if that's the absolute truth, they have no choice. We can't move forward until they accept it. And there's another way to prove it besides those pictures. the DVD. Damn, that's a lot of bullets. Should have been careful what I wished for earlier. I already know the
You're
answer.
saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah. It couldn't possibly be more wrong.
Those photos aren't the only things that point to the possibility of memory loss. This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
No, it's nothing like that. It's a video of all of us being interviewed by the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster.
When you say all of us, you mean
I mean all of us, including you.
you lie! I never did any kind of interview.
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD and you'll see for yourself. The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this? That I lost my memory somehow?
Well, we don't have any way to refute it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia here!
Like it doesn't exist?
To be honest, I have something else on my mind right now.
Something else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster, right? What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question. He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
What kind of question is that?
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
Actually, we all said we could.
Every last one of us said yes. Which means whatever's going on outside the school has to be a
I heard
lot
myself
worse.
say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
Well, it wasn't a
The
killing
same
game
goes
when you
for
said
everyone
yes.
else. Nobody remembers. You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster about it at all.
It doesn't matter if I remember or not. Even if I bought the whole amnesia thing, the idea that I would want to live here forever? That's just insane! How can I believe that?
You're on video saying
Insane
it.
or not, we can't move forward until you accept it. Am I right?
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
Yeah, you'll
I
believe
know
him.
It sounds absurd, but if it's the truth, there's nothing we can do about it.
Indeed. We only have one path in front of us.
Then, we really...
Yep, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all making my head hurt.
And this isn't like some normal kind of memory loss. You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie, you figured that part out too, huh?
Of course. There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time. But how could someone just steal our memories?
How? Come, that hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains? Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened doesn't matter right now.
True, but you're just kind of yada
What
yada over
matters
it.
is figuring out what memories you took from us.
So you don't have to
That's
explain
what you're
it.
trying to say, right?
I knew I could count on you.
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't be the only memories we lost. There must have been a purpose to it all, a reason for taking away our memories.
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
He wanted you to kill each
You
other.
mean the motive you came up with to try and get us to all kill each other?
Exactly.
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
If you don't remember your time together, then you're strangers to each other, right? It would be a lot harder to kill your friends.
But that part's still a secret. Anyway, I'm sure it's not easy.
It's not a secret. It's super fucking obvious. He took their memories away so that when they woke up, they would all be complete strangers to each other. Little did they know that they spent a lot of time in this school together already up to this point. But because they had no memory of that, they were all strangers to each other, and of course they were willing to kill each other to save themselves because they don't remember the friendship that they already built. But little did they know that those memories were just stolen from them, and this entire time, they've been killing their friends that they've been living here with and getting to know for at least a year. Now that's fucked up.
But let's all focus on the class trial for the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we do anything else.
So until we do that, well, either way, we have to explain every last remaining mystery. So, the one who killed Mukuro, the true mastermind, that's what we need to expose. Alright, Monokuma control room is the bullet we need this time.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything. That much I'm sure of.
But
Yeah.
when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure?
Oh, come on, you know!
Exactly. You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here. The mastermind is probably a million miles away.
No, that's wrong. There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time. So there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us.
What? Why?
Recall what Makoto told us Monokuma said to him earlier.
I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step, in hope speak, since the killing game began, are those 16 students.
So if the mastermind is in the school, we have to assume it can only be that 16th student.
Right, correct, but here's the thing. We've also learned that Monokuma can only be controlled when someone is in the control room. When they leave the room, he goes idle. You know? So, if he's active in the trial right now, that means there's someone right now in the control room controlling him, which means it's not one of the 6 of you.
How'd they manage to survive all of this?
So we're the only ones here?
I don't know, probably by faking their own
It's not
death.
me! I'm not the mastermind!
Well, it's not me!
I blame Makoto!
Why?
Why me?
'Cause it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
He's the ultimate lucky student.
Oh, I get it!
It's literally
the
his
only
power.
way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself, right?
Idiots.
Aw, nuts! You got me!
Wait! What are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic. The Mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough. Just as soon as we find out who killed Mukuro.
Kyoko pretty much
That's
knows
a good point.
at this point.
Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our minds to work solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, how much time have we already spent talking about the murder?
At this point, it's not so much the who as it is the
He's
how.
right. What more is there to talk about?
If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But I thought we figured that out. She died when she got hit in the back of the head.
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different. Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
Yes. Mukuro's actual cause of death must have been the other wounds.
I got it! All of the wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
Hey, now hold on a second. You did read the Monokuma file, right?
The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Yeah, it's called a red herring, hero.
It made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago.
And?
So they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
Exactly.
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days?
Winner,
If
winner, chicken
that's
dinner.
true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
That doesn't make any sense. Because she had all those wounds before she ever came here.
Huh? How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means, you know,
You're wrong.
she denied me before I could even say anything.
Get your head in the game, crazy girl.
Come on. I mean, you think I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
If you're so sure we're gonna deny you, why bother saying it in the first place? Time to make an argument. Alright, what we need now is Mukuro Igosaba's profile.
Mukuro
cool.
was the ultimate soldier. She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
No, that's wrong. No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much. Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of Fenrir, when she entered this school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
To be denied so completely. Actually, it's kind of refreshing. Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
Oh, you do it to yourself.
Anyway, so we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to this school. In which case, they could be the very thing that killed her.
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has any better suggestions, I think we can say this with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are what ultimately killed her.
There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And those stab wounds look kind of familiar, don't they? Kind of like a death we saw happen pretty early in the game.
But if that's what killed her, then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows how long?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days.
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night? Makoto, you said you were attacked in your room by a masked assailant. If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her. So who was it that attacked you?
The mastermind, obviously.
I got it! The one who attacked me was the true mastermind. When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask, I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me. But I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in.
Be my guest.
Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think. Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
You're not playing fair, Teddy Bear. No, there's no way Mukuro is the one that attacked me. Even if I didn't see their face. I saw their hands. Mukuro had a very obvious Fenrir tattoo. Comparing that to the masked attacker. It should be obvious. We have to absorb an answer
You
this
never
time.
saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under that mask. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the right foot? Or perhaps the left foot? Or could it be the hips?
It's the right hand for sure.
You never saw their face, so you can't have any idea who was up. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
Fuck, I fucked that
You're
up.
wrong. There's another part of the. Oh? Is it the. Or the left? Maybe the. Or perhaps. Or could it be. The hip? You never saw it, so you can't have any.
I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
What? Oh fuck, I have to reabsorb the thing.
Shoot!
It's okay,
You never saw it, so you can't have. I'm telling you now. You're wrong. There's another part of the attack.
Oh? And what is it the right hand?
yes.
Or the left hand?
Maybe the. Or perhaps. Or could it be. The hip?
I forgot that if you go back again,
You
we have
never
to.
saw their face, so you can't have any idea. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, there we go. Whew, that one was rough.
Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, someone else, right?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it could have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you. But what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her. Uh-oh, no snappy comeback. Did I score a bullseye?
I mean, she literally saved him from a garbage
If you
chute.
insist, I don't mind showing you.
Oh, right, no tattoo.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Before anyone could say anything. Kyoko was removing her gloves.
Your hands!
Without thinking, I let out a gasp. It was more than just a little burned skin.
Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on.
My scars should suffice as proof. Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful! On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
The
Not
personality
at all.
of
You can
the
say whatever you want.
of the mastermind themselves is starting to leak through
as long as
Monokuma.
it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet. Because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you, without a doubt, she died after our little killing game began here.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
No, you sat there and watched it happen,
After
actually.
she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
Biolab.
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Okay, she's not wrong this
Then
time.
she was being stored somewhere?
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
There's only one place. I can't think of anywhere else the body could have been stored. The pool.
I got it!
It would have been loaded.
Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
Biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
No, the
That's
one on
right.
the roof.
It's actually set up for use as a morgue. So it's the perfect place to hide a body, and it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof.
The tarp. They used the tarp to do it.
I got it! What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says Biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab.
No
In
doubt.
fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
You made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
But that's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is.
You talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency, one so major it can't be overlooked.
An inconsistency in the biolab? Could you be talking about...
La la la, I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
I need to pull myself together and think. Time for the inconsistency in the biolab. Could you be talking about the lights? They don't match the
By the
number
way,
of bodies.
Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think? I'm talking about your family.
What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
I mean, it'll be important in
Your
a minute,
mom,
but...
your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab. So if I want to shut him up, I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be that one area where the numbers just don't match up.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Ah! What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! I'm not listening!
What?
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! I'm not listening!
Oh, right.
This should prove it.
I shot him with the wrong thing. That was my bad. I didn't realize I had different bullets in this one.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is... the lights!
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
No,
But
Captain
I counted
Obvious.
up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in. And there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
9 lights doesn't make sense. The number of lights that should be on is 10. Because 16 minus 10 is... or there's 6 of us, and we started with 16, and the difference is 10.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? Why?
That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right. That's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first. Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Mondo was fifth. Taka was sixth, and Hufumi was seventh. Celeste was the 8th. Sakura was 9th. And victim number 10 was Mukuro.
So 10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her.
Exactly.
And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies.
So...
That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
the reason there are less bodies than murders... the explanation for more murders than victims... Why is that? What would it take for that to make sense? The same person was killed twice.
I got it! What about if the same person was killed twice?
So to speak.
Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far. But one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Or rather, they were already
Murdered
dead
again?
to begin
If
with.
that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Yeah, because one of those killings was a farce.
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on!
She was disguised as someone
Who
else.
could that someone else even have been?
Now
All
we're
we
onto
have to
something.
do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Yeah, there's only one kill in this entire game that could have made
Nothing's
those
gonna become
injuries.
obvious. Because Kyoko's totally delusional.
Oh, looks like we gotta absorb an answer again. Don't worry, I know which one.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono?
No.
Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki?
Oh, I picked the wrong one.
Owada? Kiyotaka Ishimaru? Hifumi Yamada? Celestia Lu... whatever? Or maybe... Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice!
No, they were. I just fucked up the thing.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima?
Oh shit, not what I meant to do.
Leon Kuwata?
There we go.
Chihiro,
Mondo O...
Kiyotaki Fumi, Celestia, or maybe...
No, there's no way anyone was murdered twice! Who
Alright.
is this someone else? Was it Sayak Junko Eno Leon Chihiro Mondo Kiyotaka Hifumi Celestia Lu, or maybe... No. There's no way anyone was murdered.
No,
Got
that's wrong. Junko. Wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
What do you mean?
Yep,
Well,
the gun
remember
gear
what
spears.
happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered,
Then those similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
so let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
It's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait,
That's half
so
true.
then... What does it all mean?
It was Mukuro.
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
And
Bing.
that's the true
There it is.
identity of the mastermind?
Which means it could either be Junko or
Who is it?
Mukuro.
Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive.
No, haven't you been paying attention? Mukuro's the one with the
She
injuries.
took Junko's body and made it look like she was the one who died.
Okay, you know what? That's actually a pretty good theory.
So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be.
Gotta give her credit for thinking.
Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro? But... can we really believe that? No, there's no way. There's no way Mukuro Ikusaba is still alive.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Wait, what?
Shoot!
I thought...
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
How is that a thing to shoot? Okay, I think I just had the wrong
body
bullet.
we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
No, that's wrong. No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records.
Right, and the Fenrir tattoo.
Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32. Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the
Or
matter
what's
of
left
the
of it.
Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Oh my god, narrow it down. It was a 50-50 chance. If it's not one, then it's obviously the other. Oh, we know who it is. That's right, folks. That's right.
Here's my answer.
Junko.
Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Positive.
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes.
But it wasn't her. Come on, man, have you never heard of a
Junko were still
disguise?
alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade. But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it, I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check, absolutely. And I can say for sure.
She was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So,
But
the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
no, idiots,
Then
come on!
you're withdrawing your previous statement?
Come on, Kyoko,
I
jump
know
in here.
you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud. Too bad, too bad.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Thank God, finally.
Oh?
You stay quiet
You
too
haven't
much.
given up already, have you, Makoto?
This whole thing would take half the time if you would just solve it.
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way?
Kyoko could do this single-handedly, truly.
Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked her. She was dead. I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko's not the one that died? It wasn't Junko, but someone else entirely? Maybe she used some sort of trick. Ba daga dinga bam bango, boom boom ba ba dinga bam bango, ba 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 dee ba da do. R-E, I need an E. There we go. Nope. And I need an L. Give me an L. Give me an L. L, 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 L. an E. There it is. And a D. D. I need the D. There it is. Okay. Replace.
Now I understand.
Bam!
That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place.
Not that quick, but...
Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but... that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that? Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
No, not that simple.
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
Again with this? There has to be some way. I need to figure out how to explain how they could have switched.
I got it!
They switched at the beginning.
The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right?
Exactly.
After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Disguised as Junko.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met was actually Mukuro all along?
Ding ding ding, we have a winner!
Then we'd already met her?
I had like a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko.
Although, it technically wasn't the first time you met.
And we never would have known the difference.
Because of the amnesia, you see.
That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right?
Makeup.
Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
Makeup.
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that. If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto. But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup in the very beginning?
Oh yeah.
If that's true,
More so
it
than
was
that.
quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
Yep.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight
They're
back?
both members of the Ultimate Despair.
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
And why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
Yep.
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
He still refuses to admit it, but he can try to deceive us all he wants. It doesn't matter. Because I've already figured it out. He tried to hide Junko's identity, and not just once, but twice. The first time was during our latest investigation.
I got it! While I was in the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster.
It wasn't just the monitor, the DVD player itself had apparently turned off. Which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. Well, what the heck just happened?
Oopsie! Looks like it broke. Out of service.
What, it just so happened to break just now?
Now then, when doesn't matter. Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right?
You made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke!
No, it wasn't a fluke. The mastermind definitely orchestrated the power outage. And that's not the only time they tried to hide Junko's identity. The mastermind tried to cover up one other piece of evidence. I've got to reveal that. Yeah, it was important earlier. Time for another VTB.
What do you want? What do you want? Are you sure about this? You're getting all riled up! That's impossible!
Okay.
That's impossible!
This should prove it.
The group photo. Okay, that one was rough. That was hard, but that was like the last full-time battle.
The
in the
video
game.
wasn't the only
So-
thing you tried to cover up. You did the same thing with this group photo.
All of them, actually.
Oh.
I noticed it just a little while ago, when we were all comparing the photos we got.
Makoto has a sharp eye, eh? He could
In
be
all the
detective
photos,
himself.
There's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
What's so unusual about them?
The unusual circumstance common to all these pictures is... Junko's face! Junko's face! You can't see it! You can't see her face in any of these pictures.
I got it! Junko's face. The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face.
Nope, not a nilch, zip, zada, zilch. Okay. Alright, we got it the first 10 times.
It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single picture, don't you think? And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, At that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind, there's no doubt that the girl whose face is hidden here is the real Junko. Which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Probably different facial features.
Xanadu!
Mukuro
I
had...
believe everything Makoto
what?
said is true.
Mukuro had freckles.
Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko
Is the mastermind.
is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. This killing game.
Well, her and the Despair.
She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair.
She is a member of the Ultimate Despair.
With this, the identity and the crimes of the mastermind have been exposed.
But only one member of them, of the Ultimate
No, go wait! Hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run.
Although she is technically the
I'll
founder.
prove everything. Right now.
She's the founder of Despair. That much is true. Okay, so like always, obviously I'm gonna fast forward through, you know, the whole gobbledygook nonsense thing here. And then, you know, we'll come back when I've got it all figured out. Alright, see you in a minute.
Here's exactly what happened. We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko and Oshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the mastermind, Junko and Oshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue. Until Junko decided to put her body to use. Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school. So she put on a mask and then attacked me. After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room. Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place. Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence. She needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder. And the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma. The real Junko and Oshima! That's the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
What indeed?
What, are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
Yeah!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Yeah, we won! Come on now.
Over?
Come on now. You promised.
Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
We had a deal. Uh-oh. And the true villain appears. Junko Enoshima, the Ultimate Despair. She is actually the founder of the Ultimate Despair. She's the original.
Waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear. If you swear your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, and some of our home cooking. Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
That's gonna be a big fat no. But we will answer that question in the next episode, because that's gonna have to be the end for this one. Holy shit. A lot has happened. So yeah, there you have it. Junko Enoshima is the mastermind. But how did all this come to be? What's going on in the world outside the school? And even more questions that I'm sure you probably still have will all be answered in the next and final episode of Danganronpa. There's probably like a good 90 minutes left in this, but fuck it, we're just gonna go hard on it in the next one and finish it. So, alright. Well, anyways, that'll be it for this one. Let me know your thoughts on all of these reveals in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to click that like button. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you possibly on another day, definitely at another time, and likely in another video. Okay, goodbye!
Danganronpa.